SNAP benefits, otherwise known as food stamps or sometimes referred to as EBT for the low income. It may be canceled, so you'll probably want to prepare now, as this will impact over 42.2 million people all across the country that do rely on these monthly benefits. I have all the details for you here in the video and what they are trying to do or what they may be doing here relatively soon in the next few days or couple weeks. So let's talk through the details. All right, now everything I'm talking about here in this video directly pertains to SNAP benefits, food stamps, EBT, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food assistance, whatever you want to call it, it's all referring to the same thing. And this program, a lot of times there's interchangeable names here. That's why I wanted to point all those out. But anyway, I want to point out something that's happening right now. In fact, did you hear just I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I was out in a separate video and said sometime in the middle to end-ish of January, we got this warning out of the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, who reached out and said, hey, if we don't get some extension to the debt ceiling, right, this whole lifting of the debt ceiling, we may have to go into extraordinary measures basically to avoid a default in this country. And I've been out saying, hey, this could impact SNAP benefits. Well, guess what? This may be one of the negotiations that's on the table. They did this a couple years ago, and here we are again in the same situation, and SNAP benefits are potentially at risk, and they may want to cancel something which would result in a massive reduction to benefits as well. Let me share with you what's going on here, okay? Now, I want to pop up an article on the screen right now so you can see this, you can follow along. Now, I'm going to be fair with you. There's a lot of numbers here, there's a lot of dollar amounts, there's percentages, and there's a lot of information here in this article. But basically what's happening. So a number of years ago, I'm going to be fair with you. I don't remember exactly which year it was. It could have been 2021, maybe 2022. I think it was 2021. They implemented a 30% raise to SNAP benefits. Do you remember this? At the time I was talking about it, it was a historic raise. In fact, I think it was 30.1% is what it turned out to be, or right around that anyway. Anyway, let's just call it 30% because that's just easier to say. But that's what it was, okay? A 30% one-time raise to benefits because of what was going on during that time. Well, they turned that into a permanent raise to benefits. Now, this is kind of the questionable thing because they said, well, technically it wasn't really supposed to be a permanent raise to benefits, but that's what it turned out to be. That was a pretty cool thing for a lot of beneficiaries, right? So that's what they did. That was implemented in October of that year, by the way, which was the beginning of the new fiscal year for that time frame. And again, I think that was in October of 2021. I could be off a little bit there, but I think it was the year. But anyway, so here's what they want to do, and here's what they're talking about. This is not a guaranteed thing. This is not written in stone. This is not like something that they're for sure going to do, but is something that's being discussed, which is rolling back that 30% permanent raise. Now, this would actually be a reduction overall of about a 20% reduction. So it's, technically not a dollar for dollar decrease, but it's about a 20% reduction what they want to do. Now, remember, you've probably heard me talk about this for in other videos as well, but they have this new commission, I'm going to call it, which is Doge, right? What does that stand for? Dogecoin? No, it's not Dogecoin. It's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. This is the new, commission, department, whatever. And basically, they're just advising the new administration on what they should be doing going forward to cost cut. In other words, stop blowing so much taxpayer dollars on the federal level. That's literally what they're trying to do here, okay? So they're trying to save about $1 trillion to $2 trillion. And what are they going to do? They're trying to cut different things, right? Well, here's the thing. One aspect, one program that is on potentially the chopping block is SNAP benefits, right? So here's the situation, and again, I just want to make this very clear. This is not happening yet, but as you can see here from this article, this is something that is being potentially discussed and or the ideas are being mulled around. So I just want to throw that out there. But anyway, if they were to do this, roll this back, this 30% raise or basically implementing a 20% reduction, what they're looking at is this would save $247 billion over a 10-year period of time. That's $24.7 billion a year on average is what that'd come out to be, right? I mean, we're talking a lot of money here. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it is, okay? This is just the numbers and the fact behind it, okay? So anyway, what we need to watch for is that this potentially could happen. Now, one other aspect that they could do, and again, they did this, 2 years ago? It actually wasn't 2 years ago. It was about a year and a half ago, to be 100% fair. It was in like May-ish of 2023. Yeah, 2023 is when they did this. So it was like, okay, like a year and a half, rolling up on 2 years here ago is when they did this. But we were in the same exact situation. We were in this debt ceiling negotiation where they said, we got to raise the debt ceiling. We're going to default in this country. Janet Yellen was out pounding the table and all these things, just like she is now, doing the same old thing and saying, we're going to default. We're going to default. We got to raise the debt ceiling, raise the debt limit. And they said, okay, we have to negotiate. We have to negotiate the details. Anyway, long story short, what they did is they raised the age for the work requirements for those people receiving SNAP benefits. Now, I've had videos about this over the last couple of years talking about this. It's been a very confusing topic. Don't get me wrong. I can certainly talk about it again. But basically what they did is they raised the age range from 49 to 54 for the ABAWD people, able-bodied adults without dependents who need to fulfill the work requirements, okay? So, again, I can certainly make a dedicated video about that, an updated one. It's a very confusing topic, but there's a lot of exemptions to the rule and a lot of people that are exempt from that. But anyway, back in September of last year, 2020, let me say that again. September of 2023, they raised it. October of 2023, they raised it. And October 2024, they raised it. Okay, so obviously here we are still early on in 2025, but they raised the age then, right? So what they're talking about here is they could potentially come in yet again, not only chop out $247 billion over the next 10 years for the SNAP benefit program, but they could also potentially raise the age in which people need to fulfill the work requirement in order to be eligible for SNAP benefits. Right now, it's still sitting at 54. It went up from 52 to 54 as of October 1st of last year, 2024, and they're talking about maybe raising that yet again. How much? That's the big question. Not really sure. Maybe they raise it by 1 year to 55. Maybe they raise it by a couple years to 56. Maybe they raise it by another 5 years out until the age of 59. I'm honestly not really sure what the plan is. I've seen a couple different sketches out there, but nothing really solid. I've seen a couple different age ranges that it could potentially be lifted up to, but nothing that is solidified or nothing that is even confirmed as of yet. So it's just speculation still at this point, okay? Either way, these are the things that they're potentially talking about doing. And this, again, why? Why would they want to do such a thing? Okay, well, here is the rebuttal behind this. Number one is the 30% raise that was implemented to SNAP back in, again, I'm going to go with October of 2021. I believe that was the year that did that again. You can look it up if you want to. It's a real thing. I talked about it. It happened. But what they basically saying is that, hey, this 30% raise that was implemented back, years ago, a few years ago, not that many, was unlawful. It was not supposed to be there in the first place. And again, whatever. I mean, this is just what they're saying, okay? I'm just bringing you the information. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, they're basically trying to say that was not supposed to be, that was supposed to be a temporary thing. It was not supposed to be permanent. It was rolled out as a permanent raise, and here we are. We need to roll this back. So who knows? Maybe this is just something they're throwing out there as a negotiation tactic, like some of the tariff talk, right? We've been hearing a ton about this tariff talk. I keep saying they're not going to do tariffs. I mean, okay, fine. I shouldn't say they shouldn't, or they won't. They probably will, but it's not going to be nearly at the degree that they're saying, like 100%, 300%, 200%, 60% tariffs. There's no way. They're not going to do that. Could they maybe roll out tariffs at maybe like 5 or 10 or 12 or 15%? Yeah, sure, and they probably will. But is it really going to be at 100 or 300%? Doubt it. Highly doubtful. It's a negotiation tactic. That's just my perspective on that. And again, I could be totally wrong on that. I don't know. Either way, I wanted to bring this to your attention. I hope that article that I popped up there as well while I was talking through that kind of gave you better perspective on this and helped to explain it. But let's keep an eye on this. We're in this window right here, right now, that Janet Yellen laid out 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Right around the beginning of the year, she came out. Actually, I think it was the last, maybe like December 30th or something like that, the 31st. I don't know. It was right around the changeover of the new year to 2025. She came out with basically a statement and a letter to lawmakers saying, hey, let's do something here. We're going to have to go and take these extraordinary measures. Well, here we are. We're in the range that she gave us. So anyway, let's see what happens. Not really sure what's going to happen here, but if we default in this country, I can tell you this much, we're going to be in a much worse situation than anything we could possibly even imagine. So we're not going to do that, but anything's possible at this point. Either way, I'll keep you posted on this. I hope this helps you. If you are a SNAP beneficiary, if you're an EBT card holder, if you're a low income, a fixed income beneficiary, make sure to subscribe. It is totally free to do so. There's a big subscribe button down below. That is my one favor of you. If I can ask anything, thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be, to advocate for you, to represent you, to help you out in any way that I possibly can. That's my dedication here, and it's been my dedication for years. Check my track record here on the channel. I've literally been here for you every single day, rain or shine, holiday or not, whether I feel good or not, I'm here for you. Check out the videos. I mean, you can't just make over 5,000 videos in a couple days. I promise you, you can't do it. Anyway, it takes years to do that, and that's exactly what I've done. So anyway, thank you so much for being part of the community. I truly, truly appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet. Otherwise, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. Feel free to share the video. If you know anybody that receives these benefits or should be aware of this information or any of the information that I share here on the channel with these videos, please feel free to share this video or any of the other videos here on the channel with the share button down below. Again, 100% free to do so. Otherwise, check out the videos that I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Some very popular hand-selected videos there, or right now showing up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, just have a nice day. Thanks so much for joining me. Truly do appreciate you. Please have a nice day.